Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama and today I am bringing you a ZVP. This is going to be on Korhal Compound LE, and this is going to be a ladder game between areaKitty, the red Protoss spawning down here in the bottom left corner, and spawning up in the top right we do have our blue Zerg Root Destiny, or just Destiny. Did he change his name from Root Destiny to just Destiny? I'm going to assume this is Destiny because he is in about the same place that Root Destiny was in GMs. They both, of course, are GM players, and actually they're rated almost the exact same. I believe they're just a couple of notches off from each other. So I think Destiny just changed his name. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say this is Root Destiny. And if it's not, I apologize. But he BMs like Root Destiny does anyways from what I've seen in the few chat logs I've witnessed right here. So we'll go ahead and see anyway. So it looks like areaKitty is going to start with that pylon down there at his natural, possibly going for the Forge Fast Expand, though he could be doing some sort of 2-gate, 1-gate drop off first there. Usually you don't see that as often up in the higher level play, but definitely in the Master League, in some games that I've played at least, I've seen players throwing down gateways and then expanding off of the gateway right there. So they go for like a 1-gate expand, as you kind of would see before, but instead they do it down on the low ground, and then they can wall in a lot easier with that. It just makes that expansion a little bit safer to take. Though, however, on this map you have to remember that one pylon will not cover your entire wall, so you will have to have a second pylon down here somewhere. But anyways, areaKitty is going to be just simply getting a forge right here, and possibly taking his expansion, but I would imagine we'll possibly see some cannons first as he throws down that forge and throws down a pylon right here for a kind of block. But I have definitely seen players throw cannons down here as well and force the pool of drones, and I would actually encourage more Protoss players to start doing that, as it's not really enough of a loss, the mining time that it costs for them to pool all of their drones down there and kill off those cannons, or at least force you to cancel them, I should say, if they don't let them finish, is completely worth it. Allows you to get your expansion up way before them, and you recoup most of those minerals while they lose all of the mining time, plus then they still have to kill off this pylon. So it is definitely something that I'd encourage, and if they do let them finish, then they're just in a lot of trouble, as having cannons down at the bottom of your natural for a Zerg, especially right here, where they cannot get a Spinecrawler in range of it, forces them to either go for mass lings right there, forces them to go for roaches, or just basically a lot of more all-in plays right there. However, areaKitty does not end up taking that, so it looks like it's going to play out a little more standard right here. Root Destiny is taking a second base, and is he going to take a third base fairly shortly is what we will have to watch out for. Is a drone on the way? Yes, it is. So he is sending a drone over there to his third base, it looks like. In the meantime, areaKitty hiding this probe over in the trees, and you are a sneaky little probe right there. That is difficult to see if you do not have the health bars. And I think a lot of Zerg players would completely miss that. So all these little trees, Protoss players, you can utilize those to your advantage. In the meantime, his expansion is almost up, and there's the third base going down by Root Destiny. So this game has played out pretty standardly right here. We do see the double gas in the main. Going to get that cybernetics core here fairly shortly. Yes, there it is. And also pumping out a Zealot. This Zealot is a kind of an optional play. He's going to more need it for this map, I suppose, for a wall off, though I think one Zealot would actually not be enough to hold that right there. So possibly throwing down a second pylon there as well. But a lot of players like to pump out an early Zealot right there, even chrono it out sometimes, just to rush it across the map and force your opponent to make a few more lings, kind of get out of the rhythm of simply being able to sit back and macro. And I know as a Zerg myself, sometimes that can be very annoying if a couple Zealots or a Zealot stalker does chase out across the map while I'm in the middle of droning. So Destiny now pushing over, just trying to get a little bit of scouting information, see what he can see what's happening right there. He's going to scout in, see Warp Gate getting chronoed, as well as a stalker right there, and a Twilight Council being thrown down also there for areaKitty. So that's a very early Twilight. He has not taken any additional gases, and I'm not sure if he's going for some sort of very early blink stalker hit. I would imagine that's what's going to happen, or Dark Templar, actually. That would make a lot more sense. So he could be throwing down a DT Shrine. I'm not quite sure. I always forget that the Twilight Council leads into the DT Shrine, so I would imagine that that's possibly going to be popping up here fairly soon. As look at all the gas that he has saved up. And there's the Dark Shrine, yep. So going to be going for fast DTs right there, and off of only 2 gas as a Zerg player. This is something that a lot of players, I think, miss. They'll be sitting there and they'll see no gas right here, and they'll be expecting that 4-gate, 5-gate pressure. As you can see, it is going to be 4-gate pressure right there, but they don't account for the fact that there could be DTs in that army as well, as they are saving the gas. Instead of getting out the sentries there early, they just use it for the Dark Templar. So he's also going to throw a pylon over here in this sneaky position, and Destiny is not going to see this, and I know so many players have missed the pylon right there. It is a great spot for Protoss to warp in, and it looks like he's going to be able to chase around this probe, but not be able to scout that pylon, so the DTs will be able to warp right in there. There's about 30 seconds left on this Dark Shrine before it does finish, and the units actually come over here to defend it. So now some roaches out for Root Destiny. He's going to head over there, and a warp in of zealots at first, so he's going to just send some zealots in there for some light harass. It's not going to do too much, I wouldn't imagine. Possibly kill off a few drones. Actually, Destiny now pulling the drones back as expected, so these roaches going to be able to pick off the pylon, sadly, right there, which is not what our player areaKitty wanted to see. And now the roaches and lings going to continue to file in. This third is trying to go down, but it's not going to be able to. I would imagine here it looks like he should be able to save this fairly shortly here. Just a few more hits. Yes, he will be able to take that out. However, a pylon is dropped right over here, so 1 DT should be able to sneak in there and completely snipe it off. And does he have any spore crawlers anywhere on the map? Does he even have an Evo chamber is the question. I don't see it. So it looks like our player Destiny is going to be in a lot of trouble here, and his lair just starting, so he's not going to have overseers anytime soon. He doesn't have an Evo chamber to save himself. That third is going to go down, and now Destiny is in an extremely poor position. He's going to just start marching his units over to his opponent's base, it looks like, as he is so far away from being able to save this. Just now going to start throwing down Evo chambers. He's throwing down 2 right there down at the natural. They aren't even going to worry about that. They're simply going to pick off the natural, move right up into the base. And is this going to be it for Destiny? It looks like it is. And Destiny says Area is a certain type of player and will cheese 100% of the time. So it appears that they have played before, and I think areaKitty snipes Destiny fairly often, as I still have 2 more games right here where it looks like areaKitty just continued sniping Destiny. So this is going to be an interesting series between these 2 players, and I will see you guys in game 2.